Welcome back. Human trafficking in Montana. In the past 5 years, the state has made progress on how it handles cases of it. But one group in particular says it's still not enough. ABC Fox Montana's Taylor Chase continues our investigation.
Here on the reservation, there's really no one person to go to about what exactly human trafficking is. So it's been here, but it's still new to people.
Although there isn't yet data to support claims that human trafficking is happening more often on reservations, tribal members say human trafficking incidents are occurring almost daily on the Fort Peck Reservation in northeastern Montana. That's due to a combination of cultural and societal factors.
You'd have to understand our culture. Our children on reservations, they can roam very freely because in our community, we're extended family members. We know who belongs to who.
Add that to the high rates of unemployment and drug use, and Native American children become an easy target.
In our society right now, we have a significant amount of grandparents raising grandchildren, okay? And the parents are absent, even from themselves they're absent. A grandma needs to know when her grandchild is 14 years old, is coming home with all these other jackets and boots, and a 30-year-old man's outside waiting for them.
Brian Lockerbie with the Montana Department of Justice agrees and says physical characteristics also play a factor.
Native American kids are exotic, unfortunately, in the sexually perverse culture that exists out there. They have a different look, a little darker skin tone, more olive skin, dark hair, dark eyes, which is something that's kind of appealing to some of these sexual offenders.
Yet if state law enforcement has increased awareness and training and Montana law now punishes more severely, why are incidents happening daily according to tribal leaders?
Right now, law enforcement, a lot of the victims I've worked with, sexual assault, domestic violence victims, they don't trust law enforcement just because there's a high turnover and nothing's usually done.
And logistically, enforcement on tribal lands is not easy.
You know, only federal agencies have authority on tribal land other than the law enforcement, the tribal law enforcement. Well, keep in mind that human trafficking knows no borders. So you go from reservation to another state, and everybody's trying to work this, and everybody's jurisdiction stops at different locations. We have to find ways to fix those jurisdictional issues so that we can manage some of those on the enforcement side.
Last year, those issues were put to the test when a so-called spiritual leader visited the Fort Peck Reservation. Not long after his arrival, tribal leaders discovered that his true intentions were not to help the tribes, but instead to traffic young Native American girls. The tribes acted quickly and took matters into their own hands.
But this violation was so heinous to us that we said, no, we're going to exercise an inherent power that we have never exercised before because an event has never been so egregious. We exercised the inherent power of banishment right from the council chambers. And it held.
And while this case had a clear ending, residents on and off the reservations are still learning to recognize and understand the new disease that has entered tribal lands.
So now let's say we were successful. We've rescued this person. Social services doesn't know how to deal with them. They have never encountered somebody like this. They don't understand what it's like to have to ask permission to take a shower.
It was all the pleasure of sin. That's really what it was. And it took advantage of people that were already beaten down, already devalued since they were very little.
Reporting in Great Falls, I'm Taylor Chase.
Now, if you or someone you know is a victim of human trafficking, there is help available. Please call the National Human Trafficking Resource Center. It's totally anonymous. You can get that help at the number there on your screen, 1-888-373-7888.